Hey everybody, this is Miss Corey. I am going to walk through the Unit 6 summative with you. Now, this is a summative that I just kind of popped out of my head. So if something doesn't make sense, email me, okay? Because I seriously just popped this out of my head and we're just going to go with it. All right, so for the summative, you will be making an infographic. What is an infographic? An infographic is a visual representation of information that a person can read quickly and clearly. It also uses designs, colors, and photos or drawings that help get the message across to the viewer. For this summative, you can either make the infographic by hand on paper with coloring utensils or using an online infographic maker. If you're using an online infographic maker, I suggest using Pictochart. But if you like another website, you can do that too. Watch this video for a tutorial on how to use Pictochart. It's literally a 10-minute video of me going through the basics of Pictochart. Let me know if you have questions if you decide to use Pictochart and haven't used it before. Want more examples of everyday infographics? You can click here. This will take you to a Google Doc that I just kind of took a bunch of infographics from the internet and just kind of stuck them on here. There's really no rhyme or reason to any of them. I just thought the visualizations were nice and kind of gives you a variety of ways that infographics can look. All right, all infographics are made for a special audience or viewer. Pretend your audience for this infographic will be 8th grade students who want to learn more about ancient and Middle Age India. Here's your prompt for your infographic. What does an 8th grader need to know about ancient and Middle Age India? Okay, so essentially you're going to be answering that question. Here's what you will need to include on your infographic. Simple language and or explanations for foreign or complex words, something that an 8th grader would understand. No paragraphs. I don't want to see any of that. Short sentences or phrases only. Use of at least 7 vocab words from Unit 6. You can't just let the word in there either, okay? You can't just like take a text box and just put Hinduism, but then don't say anything about it. No, that's not going to work out, okay? You have to include pieces of information that about that vocab word. You need the explanation of Buddhism, explanation of Hinduism, explanation of Islam, and its connection to India. Eye-appealing color design that flows throughout the infographic. Pretty much what I'm saying there is use color, especially if you decide to hand draw it. I don't want like just a crumpled up piece of paper with a bunch of stuff scribbled on it. No, it needs to look nice. So not just black, white, and gray. Gotta have some color. Got it? What else? At least 3 images relating to information in your infographic. These can be hand drawn or they can be from the internet. So at the bottom of each picture that you took from the internet, if you decide to get pictures from the internet, you're going to write the website you got it from and a small description of what the image is of. Again, just kind of like with the Egyptian project we did, I like using the Met Museum for images, but it's totally up to you. Yeah. Also optional, if you are somehow like wanting to research more about a specific thing and are using outside resources, which there should not be any need to do that, but I don't know, maybe you're like just really into learning more about Hinduism, whatever. Make sure you just put those resources in MLA format at the bottom of the infographic, but otherwise it's not necessary to look at other resources. All right, so below I have an infographic that I did about ancient and Middle Age China and Japan. Again, you're doing yours about India. I just didn't want to do one about India and then y'all just copy from me because that would make me cry. So you can see here in my infographic, again, infographic is a piece of art. It can look many, many, many different ways. This is just the way I did mine. Yours can look really different than this. But I started off with a nice little pretty picture, Mount Fuji. Had a big headline, what 8th graders should know about ancient and Middle Age China and Japan. Again, you're doing India. And then I kind of made these cool little hexagon shapes where my texts are. So I talk about like the Shang period, the Zhou period, the Mongol Empire, then the Heian period. I talk about each one of them. I underline my vocab words. You don't have to underline your vocab words, but if you like to, it's always really helpful. I also included my pictures, and I included a little text box below them, like this one right here, Samurai Met Museum. Bam, done. That's all you need to do for the images. Okay? All right, so I left the summative a bit open-ended so you can be totally creative and show me what you know in an artistic style. Right here is a link to the rubric. I highly recommend you look at that, okay? Here's the rubric right here. Hopefully there's not too many spelling mistakes. I don't even know. But so the things I'm looking for are art and eye appeal. Again, make it pretty, but make sure I can still read it. Vocab information, include at least 7 vocab words, and then say information about them. Religious information, you gotta tell me about Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam, and the connection of Islam to India. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking ahead. I think people are gonna miss that, so don't miss that. Okay. Pictures, using 3 or more pictures and including those descriptions and where you got the pictures from. Again, that's if you're using a like internet. If you're just drawing them, you don't have to because they're your own. You're just drawing them. That's cool. And then the lengths of sentences. So the really big thing about infographics, there are no paragraphs. Okay. I want to see just short phrases or short sentences. And then again, if you are using outside materials, which there really isn't any reason you should be, make sure you are putting them on the bottom in an MLA citation. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Yes, and then after you're done, you're going to download or upload. You're going to upload your picture or your file of your infographic to the Unit 6 summative on Schoology. Let me know if you have questions. All right, bye.